Once you've created a chart, it's easy to change anything from the chart type to the color scheme to the individual elements, like the color of a data series, to make it look better. In this lesson, we'll change worksheet values, these values here, change the type of chart we see, and we'll change the chart style. Here's our chart. We're going to experiment with changing the type and also changing how different elements are laid out. We could actually take this chart, which is a column chart, and we can change it to a bar chart. We're also going to change some of the values in the worksheet here so that some of the expenses will vary, and you can see how the chart is actually automatically updated, which we talked about a little bit in the previous lesson. So let's start by making some changes, and then we'll go on with our redesign. So I'm going to click in cell D11, D11 here, and I'm actually going to type a new value. Notice the chart's not selected anymore. The new value I'll type is 6,107. And then I'm going to click on press enter, and notice the data changes for Japan. Let's undo that, and we look at Japan here, and when I add that new value, so redo, you'll notice that it changes in the chart. So now we're ready to make some design changes. I'm going to select my chart, and I can select it by clicking in any blank area within the border. It selects the chart. Notice when I select a chart, it also selects the data up here, but it also displays the contextual chart tools tab up here. I'll click the chart tools design tab. So I now have all of the design elements that are actually showing up, and here in the chart layouts, which is right here group, you can change the layout of objects by choosing a different layout. These layouts that are listed, and I can click that drop down and I see the various layouts, layout 1, 4, 7, so on and so forth. These are pre-configured arrangements of objects in your chart. For example, in layout 2 here in the upper middle, you can see that the legend and title are above the chart and the plot area is hidden. You can also move these elements individually, but these layouts offer a quicker alternative. I'm going to click on layout 3. When I click that button, you'll notice that it changes that my legend is actually on the bottom. That's not bad, but I think the original layout works better because it is kind of hard to view these options. So in order to go back to that, I'll click the undo button on the quick access toolbar. So it takes me back, and what I want to make sure I do is choose a chart type that's easy to read and represents the data I'm displaying. So let's experiment with changing the type of chart we have. So here in the type group, I have an option that says change chart type. So I click on the change chart type button, and you'll notice I now get a dialog box that comes up, and the left pane over here displays the list of available categories, and the right pane over here displays the individual chart types. The currently selected chart type is highlighted, which is columns. I'm going to actually click on bar, and you'll notice it changed. I'm going to confirm that this first choice right here, clustered bar, is selected. Then I'm going to click on OK. And with this chart type, our data markers are horizontal bars instead of vertical bars. I'll click the change chart type button again. I'm going to click back on column. I'll click the fourth choice, 3D cluster chart. This design gives a nice sense of volume, but it looks a little crowded. But I'm going to check it out anyway. So I'm going to click on that. It does look a little crowded, so I'm going to go back to change chart type. So I'm going to actually choose column, and I'm going to choose the clustered column button, which is here. and I'm going to go back to our original style. I like our original style better. When you look here, we're also going to go up to the chart styles group. These allow you to apply a color scheme to your data markers and background. I'm going to click style 3 here, and all this is a nice color scheme. We're going to go back to the previous choice because it is very difficult to read. Because I don't want to make the overall changes, we're going to make some individual changes to these chart elements in a future lesson. So I'm going to click undo in the quick access toolbar. I'm going to click on save. So I save my work and it saves any changes. You can check out your textbooks for some additional tips and also to try some things yourself. You also can learn about how to create a combination chart, which is a chart that plots the data in a secondary data series in a different chart type. And you can learn about 3D charts, which lets you include a third axis in your chart called the Z-axis to compare data points across both categories and values.